Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. I don't know what you want from me. First of all, we didn't even come up with a name yet. We did not come up with a name yet. We did not come up with any topics. I don't know what Frank over here has planned, but I have some things up my sleeve because he's a picky motherfucker. So,
I don't have anything planned. So here we go. Welcome to the first episode of the.
how about you guys let us know below what the podcast name should be based on your perception of what this podcast is about.
I don't even know what we're talking about. So hit me with your
Okay,
best shot. What are we talking
let's.
about?
I actually have an interesting one.
Mhm.
Uh, could
What
health.
it be before you get into that? How about you describe what the main topics? Because it for me, the way that I understand this is that we're doing a show, podcast, whatever, revolving around health, politics, crypto, which is kind of intertwined with politics and the economy and money, um,
I guess I think like
corruption, conspiracy theories, any
I think
anything
it's I think
current
it's in
events.
that like current events, but I think like people will get to know a little bit more about not just like what we think, like our views are, but like the research we've done on these
Yep.
individual topics. Because I think that a lot of people are going to be watching for both to kind of see like what our values are
Yep.
and also like what facts we have to be actually talking about these topics in the first place.
Sure. Okay. Hit me.
Okay. So this one is about Bitcoin and health correlation. Could health advocates benefit from crypto's ideology?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Like,
Okay. So, decentralization and financial independence movement, and also like the alternative health approaches. Like, do you see any correlation between the two and how you think those two, I guess, things have in common with crypto?
kind of, but in a way it shouldn't. Like the type of person who is kind of now into Bitcoin is someone who's like a free thinker, not listening to the mainstream narratives and wants to do something different outside of the current financial system. They want to escape in some way. And they're also someone who doesn't believe the hype, or at least the hype from before, or the mainstream narrative. They were kind of, I guess, talking down about Bitcoin because I think the price was getting away from them, and they were like, "Oh crap, we need to get into this." So they were kind of suppressing the price. So they put out a lot of FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, to try to get people to get out of it, so they could buy it very cheap, get into it. But now that they're in it, they're now pushing it again. So
Hmm.
um, also, that same free thinker is kind of going away from this, the stuff that the media pushes out of what's healthy. So they kind of think on their own. It's kind of just dumb because they're pushing out unhealthy stuff that I think the thing is that like Bitcoin is good for you, and there's certain things about food that's shouldn't be. Help me out here. It's like it's kind of a weird thing that like both things are like Bitcoin could be good for you, and like say eggs could be good for you, but they tell you that eggs are bad for you.
Hmm.
It's not like one when it comes to like food, it's not like one thing is good for you. It's like they kind of push out a lot of weird nonsense out there. Am I making any sense
No,
here?
no, no, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think that
Well,
in regards
well,
to
before you ask me another question, can you jump in
it's
there and get put your opinion, what you think? Yeah. With the health side, because you're more in tune with the health.
well, I think that crypto is like kind of like what you said is unconventional.
Yep.
It's an unconventional approach to money. It's unconventional from the like all of these decades of thinking and what we were taught on
Yep.
investments and things like that. So, I don't know. I just think that
Which is
it's kind of
similar to what's happening with food. Like there's
exactly.
this, yeah,
I think it's that whole like process of unlearning
process.
process. Leave it down in the comments, guys. Of kind of like unlearning and relearning. And that's something that I'm like a huge advocate for in regards to anything in life. It's like the things that we were taught aren't necessarily the way that we should be doing things. The way I kind of see this too is like there is a certain stereotype of crypto people
Hmm.
just like in the health community or like spiritual community, like immediately you think like somebody spiritual or whatever, and you think someone carrying crystals and wearing hippie pants and blah blah blah, and like that's what you kind of see when it could be like a lawyer, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and it's just like I think it's these kind of like stereotypes and also like the taboo subjects that we kind of need to address more.
It's kind of what I was saying, where there shouldn't be this like stereotype of a person who's into
Yeah, yeah.
crypto and a stereotype of somebody who's into a certain kind of health food or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. It's like everyone should be eating healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone the way that I see it should be into Bitcoin or crypto because it will save our financial system.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Gets us away from the evil central banks that are stealing your money. Um, but that people don't really know that they are stealing your money, that they are screwing you over. The central banks are. They've been taught that they're there to help you and make sure that the economy is doing good, or the our financial system is running properly. They're not trying to help you.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make money. They're trying to steal your money, basically. And same thing with health food. They
Mm-hmm.
try to, they make you think that, eating the sugary breakfast cereals are good for you, and it's not, and that eggs are bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's my take on that.
I have like two kind of things to add or whatever, but I find a lot of Canadians don't know. Did you know that your healthcare isn't free in Canada? That
You pay for it with taxes.
you are
Yeah.
paying for it with taxes, but also as soon as you turn 25 is when this happens. Like it is free for a limited time. And then after you start to notice that every single year you are paying for it, but also paying for a system that is not really working because when you do need a doctor and if you don't have one, you're fucked. You're absolutely screwed. You're gonna have to wait in the emergency room, even if your problem is more severe than a person with a little scratch that's in the emergency room. You're not getting anything for hours. That's kind of one thing I want to add. We could kind of like go back into that if you have anything to add. But
Yeah, I don't know anything about Canada's healthcare system. I just know
no,
that so many people here, college students and misguided leftists will say, "Well, why don't we have healthcare like in Canada? If they have it, it's
that
working
that's a
there."
illusion. That's an
Oops.
illusion. One thing I wanted to ask you, but this is kind of like a more shallow question. It's not really like I guess going deep into whatever it is that we're talking about.
Yep.
Uh, what would you say stereotypically uh is like the crypto people? Like, is there like certain types of people that go into crypto, stereotypically speaking? Like, for example, like the crypto bros. Like what are the definitions of these
So
people? Like, kind of.
okay, the crypto bros are got mostly, I wouldn't say that they all even understand crypto or Bitcoin. They just heard that you could make money. And they it's guys that are like, I want to make money, I want to be successful, and they saw, it's not that they saw a good thing, it's just that they saw other people doing well, so they were trying to copy them, and not all of them understood how it works or why it's good. You know what I mean?
And they ended
So
up in Bali and
some of them, because a lot of those guys just got lucky. They didn't
Yeah,
understand the
exactly.
4 year cycle,
Mm-hmm.
but also a lot of them kind of screwed up, because they bought in because they saw other guys doing it, did well, and then lost it all. So a lot of them were gamblers, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that there are other like what would the types be, stereotypically speaking, of like what do you think people think of crypto people? You know what I mean?
I think that a lot of people think that everyone that's in crypto is a crypto bro, you know. Uh,
That is
uh,
homeless, sleeping on someone's couch, and has money in crypto, but is
oh
broke in
yeah.
real life.
Well, you mean because they put all their money into
All
crypto?
their
Yeah,
money. And
yeah.
then I think that those are the things that kind of get like the bad rep. It's just like, oh, like he's broke, but
Well,
he has all
when
his money in crypto. You know what I mean?
if you figured out something that was making a lot of money, but you had to put all your money into it, you'd you'd sell everything you had and put it into crypto, you know? If your money, if you knew your money was going to 10x,
hmm
you're going to be like, why am I spending it on, a burger? I'll eat ramen, and
This is why I call Frank Frugal Frank.
hey, I don't have any crypto at all. It was on anything that I had was on a boat, and we got into an accident and it was lost. I lost everything in a boating accident. I lost it all.
In these future episodes, one thing that I kind of wanted to add is that we're going to be talking about a lot of like deep things, but we're also going to be like, you know, kind of
What deep
debating.
things? I'm not talking about anything deep.
That's what I was about to say. We're going to be making fun of each other a lot, but also kind of talking about like the kind of the simple, shallow, superficial, like normal kind of questions that people have. And a lot of people wonder like how to get started with health or how to get started at the gym or, better morning routines or like how to
How do
get
you get
into
started at the
crypto.
gym? You just walk in the door and go. Like what?
Well, I find like when I first started at the gym, I was lucky that I had two parents that were, personal trainers and bodybuilders and things. So I had that kind of lesson. But I was shy and nervous, like to go to the gym by myself and to use the equipment by myself, which a lot of people don't talk about. Like I was just like my every time I would go to the gym with my mom, she would do it all for me. I would be watching everything that she did. But to go to the gym, it's a little intimidating to go to the
Uh,
gym and to use the equipment by yourself and to like change, the dials of things and all that stuff. Even though
really?
it seems very simple, but I guarantee you that there are other people out there that have had this experience and
The
situation.
the best thing that you can do is just ask someone who looks like they know what they're doing, because they will. be very, very glad to help you out and explain to you. I've got people telling me how to do stuff all the time. It's a regular thing where some guy will be like, "Oh, you should be doing it more like this." Or a guy the other day, a guy tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, "Oh, don't." I was doing a lateral press thing, he was like, "Oh, you got your arms out too far. You should keep them up here." I didn't even ask him for help. And I've been going to the gym for a long time. I know what I'm doing. He was just like, "Oh, you could hurt your shoulder if you do it too far back. You need to do it."
That sounds slightly passive aggressive, Frank.
Some people don't like it. I mean, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll keep doing it sort of my way, but thanks for the
Yeah,
help. But they like to pass on knowledge, especially at the gym. So,
yeah.
and especially if you're a lady and you ask a guy, they will
Well,
gladly help you out.
the last gym I had a membership at was a gym in Kamloops, and it was an all women's gym. So I was lucky that there's only women there, and that's great. I didn't get to, run into any men. I've been to all sorts of different types of gym. Like my dad, the gym that he works at, it's called Sweatshop Toronto. Shout out. It's a great gym. Um but people there mostly have personal trainers at that gym, and it's like a little bit more of a high end gym. You can't just get a membership
Yep.
like randomly kind of things. Like it's pricey. Luckily I go there because my dad trains me and stuff like that. So I've had like different experiences with different environments and that stuff, but mostly I've just worked out at home. Like I'm a home gym, I'm home fitness type person. I have my own weights at home. I have like those, the stretchy bands, all sorts of stuff, and
Just drop my pen.
I've gotten my most fit at home. Like at home doing the exercises. So I feel like with stuff like that, it's like it really depends. Like I think you need to go to the gym to experience what it's like and to have that kind of to see if it's something you want to
During
go.
during COVID, I worked out at home. I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to do as much of my routine as possible. And I thought I was doing everything that I was doing at the gym. No, no, not
Mm-hmm.
even close. I was like slowly adding weight on, and I
Interesting.
didn't even realize it. And then I went back to the gym and it was like right
Mm-hmm.
back into shape. Yeah. It's not even
Uh,
close. Not even close.
Another thing is that maybe in the future as well, like if we have certain topics of things, maybe we
Yeah.
should include uh like pictures or evidence or research or stuff in it so we could
Oh,
like
like
share our
how
screen.
do we do that?
We could like
Let's do
share
let's
our
do a
screen and try to.
let me see if I can try to incorporate that into this. How do I even
On the bottom it says share. I'm pretty sure that's the button to click. So, like you could.
hmm. Oh yeah, but can I share my let's see which one's three? Yes. Oh, that's three. Did I share? Oh no, that's
I don't see it.
you
There's
gonna
gonna
allow me
be
to
lots of learning curves, but that's all good.
so it's saying in order for me to do that
You gotta
I
close
have to
it.
quit it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
So
reopen it.
it's all good. We'll test that out sometime and
Oh
figure out. Oh,
wait, hold on.
oh,
Yeah.
I see it now. Okay.
But now are you seeing
I'm seeing graphs
yeah,
of
that's what
their
I'm trying
of
to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. So that's not graphs. That's
There's your
that
little
is
candles.
that's those are candles. This
Yes.
is Bitcoin chart. This is the Bitcoin chart. This is the past month where we went up to 108,000, came all the way down. Let me get rid of this because we broke, you know, it won't let me. There we go. We broke out of that. Had another one. We broke out of that. Now we have a little cup, and hopefully we start making a little handle, and then we're off to the races. But we need to get above 100,000 to make a higher high. We have to match this one over here because otherwise we could bounce up and go all the way down
Hmm.
again. So anyway, that's what
So
I looked at.
what's the lowest that you think it's going to get to again?
It all depends on, see this blue line that I put? This is like
Hmm.
the line in the sand. So if we make it above this, then we may dip down again, but I don't think we'd go below this if we went, if we, as soon as we get above it, we may go a little bit lower, but then I think we're up.
Hmm.
But if we don't hit that line, we could go down, you know, back down here if we could. So, can you also still see me when you see this stuff or no?
On the corner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
That's cool. I
yeah.
like this. All right.
Hmm.
So I can show you all kinds of stuff too. So I could
Yep.
um pull up something
Hmm.
and whatever I want to have some stuff. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm gonna stop. There we go. And we're back.
We did a little ad placement for iPhone there for a second.
Oh yeah. That means we're the good guys, right? They say only good guys in movies can be using an iPhone. Did you know that?
Yes, and I vouch for that.
Yeah.
Whoever's using
They
Android or Samsung, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but in a movie, if you see someone and all the characters are using iPhones, and then you see one character with like an Android or something, you're early on, you're like, that's the killer. You know what I mean? Or that's a bad guy. You just don't know it yet.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder
Spoiler.
what. Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
yeah. Now that's gonna ruin the
All movies for you, yeah.
movies.
All
Ah.
right, let's wrap this up. And any last things you wanted to talk to our
Um,
fake audience before we go?
well, I think that we do have a lot of different topics that we're going to talk about in the future. Perhaps this upcoming week, and some of the things that I wanted to kind of bring into light
Like some current
is
events and stuff like
bird flu. Because we got to talk about that stuff. Even though it's annoying, I still have a lot of theories and a lot of different types of things in regards to that, including health wise. And I also have a correlation that I wanted to add, which was the pause on raw milk production in California. So we're going to be talking about those topics and yeah, lots more when in regards to our political stances. I think that you guys are kind of gonna see where we stand politically more, more, more or so. That face that Frank made it there just says it all. That's all you need to know about his political stances.
what? That I'm not an idiot, Hmm? Not a sheeple.
But yes, so anyways, this was a
You can
test and
you can't be for Bitcoin and be on the left these days because first of all they've totally just tried to
that's a
wipe it out.
topic
Yeah.
that I would like to pick your brain about for the next week because I
Even
do
if you
think
were, we were all leftists. Most everyone in the tech world were on the left. They were all Democrats. I voted Democrat for a long time, and I think a lot of them, once they saw like they're they're just gonna take over and not give you any freedom to do anything, they were like, okay, we're out of here. Bye.
yeah.
Our way or the highway was what the left wanted, or what the Democrats. So they all jump ship.
Hmm.
All right, time's running out.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast, and we will see you guys next week.
Later.